Duquesne in their hometown and literally right across the street from their campus. Coming out in the blue, and a lot of blue in the crowd. Duquesne with a ton of fans in this building in downtown Pittsburgh, but VCU always travels well. There's a lot of yellow and black. The Rams in the white, and VCU won the only meeting in the regular season between the teams in a high-scoring game where they both played pretty well.
So buckle up. These teams are athletic. They want to run. They want to pressure. They're not going to shy away from each other. They're in attack mode. That's why that last game produced 173 points between them. This is going to be fun.
Duquesne led wire to wire in beating Rhode Island here yesterday in the second round, while VCU was on a heater. They've won 3 in a row and 13 of their last 14. This is Terrence Hill firing a 3, and he jars the game's first jumper, and it's a triple for the all A10 first-team selection.
Ginyard second in the league in scoring. He's known as a speedster. His extreme speed overshadows the fact that this guy can shoot it too. He's just a complete player.
This is Djokovic with 7 on the shot clock against Dixon, who gets the block. The leading shot blocker on this Duquesne team. Ginyard for his second 3.
As they say, that was definitely a heat check. I don't know if I love that decision. That was a little too quick and too tough and too deep off the dribble. VCU drives the ball to the paint hard. The key for Duquesne's defense is what they're doing right here. Stopping repeated drives, keeping it out of the paint. They're being successful. Terrific defense.
And the corner 3 pops in and out for Nick Lewis, the freshman from DC and the A10 Rookie of the Year.
That was really hard because Duquesne had to stop at least 6 hard drive attempts by VCU. They did it successfully. This is a no-paint game philosophy defensively for Duquesne.
Brandon Hall in the paint. And Dixon the rebound. They reset the offense. 2 minutes going by. Jimmy Williams on the alley-oop to Dixon.
Neither of these teams complicate things. It's dribble drives into space with a lot of cutting, opening up room for drives, or simple pick and rolls.
Jadrian Tracy, and he gets VCU on the board.
Quick shots by talented guys. VCU averaging over 80 a game. That is the most VCU has averaged since 75, 76. Steve, I was in 8th grade last time VCU scored this many points.
I'm not going to tell you where I was. Outlet to Evans. Into the corner for Jennings. Spinning on Williams, tied up. Now Evans working on Ginyard. Extra pass for Tracy. Can't hit from the corner.
Good defense, good offense, double teams, rotation, ball movement. This game's going to be a treat. Talked about ball screens. This is Duquesne's ball screen motion. They go pick and roll from the side over and over.
Ginyard now 1 of 3 from downtown. Back-to-back misses on 3 that time. The first taken by Jimmy Williams, who had a terrific performance in the only meeting in the regular season between these teams.
Duquesne has more depth with post players. They have 4 quality post players. I would think Coach Drew Joyce wants to get the ball inside a little bit more. They've taken way too many quick threes.
Corner 3 this time from Brandon Hall.
The quality of that 3 was better because in transition, Hall was wide open and it was catch and shoot. Those earlier 3s by Williams and Ginyard were really deep, past the NBA out off the dribble. You could get better ones than that.
Barry Evans into the corner, and Brandon Jennings connects from downtown.
VCU has NCAA tournament talent. You know, For some reason, I believe Duquesne has that kind of talent, but they just didn't play consistently enough in the regular season.
Ginyard on the kick out for Netches. Tracy, blocked by Netches and out of bounds. Timeout, all 8-6 is the lead for the Dukes, and VCU is coached by Phil Martelli Jr. And for more on the first-year head coach, let's kick it over to the third member of our crew. There's Marty Snyder. Hey, Marty.
Hey, Steve, you know, you mentioned it, that there was no hotter team in the Atlantic 10 at the end of the regular season than VCU. There's also no team that comes into Pittsburgh with more pressure on them than VCU, because a loss tonight could put them in a very precarious position to be able to make the NCAA tournament. So this week, Coach Martelli kept everything very simple. He moved all practices to 5 p.m. to match the tip time for this game. And the one message he kept telling his team all week long: keep it to the 94/50. In other words, just worry about the basketball in front of you. You take care of your basketball. Selection Sunday will take care of itself. So, Coach, my question for you is, did you find that rhythm and developing that rhythm with your team early in the week of tournament week to be a valuable practice?
100%. Good coaches have to be good psychologists. And I can tell you, Coach Martelli believes in making things consistent, getting players in a rhythm. He doesn't want them surprised, even in terms of his system of playing basketball. He recruits talented guys, he teaches them how to be unselfish, and he lets them play.
Evans misses on the three. Netches tracks down the loose ball. VCU very much living on the NCAA tournament bubble over the last few weeks, and this tournament, their last opportunity to make their case.
As of today, I spoke with Joe Lenardi. He has them in. He says a win will make things dicey. A loss makes things dicey. A win puts them in great shape here today.
And Jakub Netches is going to be fouled by Brandon Jennings.
So I mentioned earlier, I like Duquesne's physicality. Netches, big, strong guy. Alex Williams, number 6 off the bench, big, strong guy. We saw the strength of Dixon. John Hughley is gigantic off the bench. Djokovic is the only true center. Right now, VCU going with a little bit of small ball. I believe Duquesne could win the physicality battle by posting a little more.
Brandon Jennings came up on that last foul a little bit gingerly. He has gone to the bench, and he's been tended to by the trainer. Shot clock winding down. Jimmy Williams has to get it up. Deep three, and not even close. It's a shot clock violation. So there is Brandon Jennings. He committed that foul on Netches and immediately went to the bench.
And that's an issue. Looks like his hand. He's first team all-conference. In this game, more importantly, he's all-defensive team, and his extreme athleticism could help match up against Ginyard. He's one of the few athletes who have the foot speed to go up against Ginyard man on man.
This is Terrence Hill. Misses on his first shot attempt, just coming in off the bench. The A10's 6th man of the year and leading scorer for VCU, but as he has so often, he comes off the bench and is not a starter.
Yeah, I love Hill's unselfishness. He also leads VCU in assists. He's number 1 in A10 games in assist to turnover ratio. So not only does he score a lot, but he's unselfish, not only coming off the bench, but sharing the ball, playing smart, and scores at a high rate. That's why he's first team all-conference, off the bench. Oh, I love this matchup, Ginyard-Hill. These are big timers. 2 first-team guys head-to-head.
5 to shoot, and Tracy can't connect. It's out of bounds over to Duquesne.
The last 2 shots VCU has missed. Netches had a hand in the face at the rim or out on the perimeter. Netches is not on the all-defensive team because he doesn't get a lot of blocks or steals. But I'll tell you what Netches does do. At 6'9", he can switch. He gets his hands up, contest shots. He's a great help defender. In my opinion, Netches is one of the best defenders in the A10.
He fouled out of yesterday's win over Rhode Island. Here he is, though, underneath, and that's going to be a goaltending call on VCU.
So VCU has corrected their rim protection issue, but just look at, there's no one at the rim. I mean, Netchis is all alone. So something that plagued VCU early this year, they pressure so hard and defend the threes so well, their defense gets spread out and people were hurting him at the rim. Well, they've won 13 out of 14 because they've corrected that issue. But remember now, they haven't played a game in almost a week. So it's one of those things where maybe a little bit of rust from not having game experience this week because of that double bye.
Hill, pocket pass for Djokovic. And the rebound to Brandon Hall.
And Dixon's a big-time defender. I'm telling you, this is an underrated Duquesne team in terms of talent. Their talent is better than their record.
Jr on the alley-oop to Dixon. Hard to believe they were only 500 in A10 regular season play at 9-9.
They had some head-scratching losses. The eye test here, they look at the same level as VCU, who's one of the best teams in the country.
Now Nick Lewis for a three, and he plants it.
Nick Lewis, the A10 Rookie of the Year, and that was not an easy shot. My favorite thing about Nick Lewis, he's one of the best rebounding guards in the conference. At 6'1", this guy will go get the ball. He'll go in there and battle the trees, and now he's defending Ginyard. I love it.
Wing three for Duquesne. Alex Williams, his first shot of the game, led them in scoring yesterday with 22, the grad student from Dayton.
Terrence Hill is the sixth man of the year in the A10, but right behind him is Alex Williams.
The basket and the foul, though, on the other end for Michael Belle.
I mentioned VCU's goal is to drive to the rim, but to do that, you need movement and space. And what VCU does is when they pass you the ball, they don't cut opposite you, they cut towards you, because that opens up a lot of space for driving. That's how they got Belle downhill.
The foul on David Dixon, his first for Duquesne. Belle at the free throw line, and the junior from London cannot complete the three-point opportunity. Foul on VCU. That goes against Tyrell Ward. Each team now with 2 fouls here in the first 8 minutes. And a 4-point Duquesne lead. They have never trailed. And an offensive foul against Jimmy Williams.
Nick Lewis is confrontational. He's going to get up in your face. That time, his pressure draws an offensive foul. Love the freshman's mentality.
So exactly a dozen minutes left to go. Marty Snyder getting in position to talk with VCU head coach Phil Martelli Jr. And let's send you over to Marty now.
I know the 7-day layoff was on your mind, Coach. How would you grade the start by your kids?
That layoff wasn't on my mind at all, to be honest with you. Defensively, we just have to be sharper defensively. We've gotten good looks, too many threes, but that's what they're giving us right now. If they're open, we'll take them.
We saw Brandon Jennings go to the bench holding his hand. Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time, Steve.
Now, Djokovic and Hill both scoreless so far, but don't expect that to last for long. And Derek Simpson from St. Joe's, we're going to see him next. He leads the third-place Hawks on this beautiful run they've had. He leads the A10 in assists. He's a pure point guard.
It'll be St. Joe's against Davidson in the nightcap here this evening. The winner of that game plays the winner of this game in the semifinals tomorrow.
Boy, they tried to get it to Djokovic. Dixon did a great job not letting him get it. Did it again.
Terrence Hill on the wraparound. Oh, but knocked out by Hall. An easy grab on the loose ball, but just couldn't corral it.
How about Alex Williams at 6'6", 240, switching on the Hill and moving his feet? Really impressive athletes in this game.
Knocked out of Djokovic's hands, but that's going to be a foul on Duquesne. And that's going to be against Cameron Crawford, the redshirt senior from Birmingham, Alabama.
Zone out of bounds under. Dixon will protect the rim so they don't get an easy one. Now they'll match up man.
Tyrell Ward trying to get it up. Belle the rebound. They missed 2 opportunities, but they might get a third here. Belle underneath, and this time makes no mistake.
In the first matchup between these teams, VCU got 18 second chance points. They dominated the offensive glass. They're hoping to do that again here today.
Just backing in, Alex Williams off target on the shot. There's Dixon with the offensive rebound, though. Crawford had it deflected, but right to Dixon. Had trouble holding on to it, and eventually he was fouled. And that is going to be Nick Lewis, the freshman, on the foul for the Rams.
So Coach Martelli said he's not worried about that week layoff, and he can't be worried about it because there's nothing you could do about it. But I'm telling you, there's a confidence and comfort that comes from getting that first win in a tournament, like Duquesne has yesterday.
Duquesne had a single bye. The Rams of VCU a double bye. So they're starting their tournament today in the quarterfinal round. On the pull-up, Brandon Hall has had a quietly effective start to this game.
Hall more of a defender, but certainly taking advantage of some offensive things early here so far.
Belle into Djokovic. Goes the other way, too strong off glass. Deep 3 from Alex Williams. Oh, yeah. He's got 6, and the lead is 7.
If I'm coaching him, that was a no, 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 oh, yes shot right there. That was way far out, early in the clock, but Williams has been on fire. 22 each of the last 2 games before this.
This is Belle in the lane, gets the soft bounce. Just over midway through this first half. VCU has never led, and it's a 5-point advantage right now for the Dukes.
I love this matchup over here. 2 extreme athletes, Jennings against Ginu. You don't get guys with more foot speed than those 2.
Williams past Djokovic.
Williams is exploding in the last couple weeks of the season.
Here is Hill, blocked by Dixon, but they're going to call a goaltending on David Dixon.
This is a power forward. We're talking, look at how far out he is. And that is a beautiful stroke. And he matches that skill with strength. I mean, he is an impossible matchup. He's either going to be quicker or stronger than almost everyone that tries to guard him. And if you play off him, he's got the jumper.
He spent 3 years at Furman, was out last year injured, and this year, in his grad season, part of the all A10 third team here in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Duquesne trying to set things up here in the half court. 8 to shoot. Ginyard had it knocked down, but right to Jimmy Williams. But only 3 to get it up now, and number 3 goes to the basket and draws the foul.
So many good things on that play. First, VCU's pick and roll defense against Ginyard. They put 2 people on him to make it pass it. Now watch. And, of course, this is after the loose ball. And Jimmy Williams, one of the top scorers in the league. He's third team all-conference. You know, he's a guy who shoots it, puts it on the floor. Sometimes you need a guy who, at the end of the clock, when the play doesn't work, can make a play themselves.
Had 17 points in the win over Rhode Island yesterday, but had 20 points against VCU in their regular season encounter. largest lead of the game for the Dukes. This is Terrence Hill on the fadeaway, tipped up. And it's Jadrian Tracy who goes up and sticks it in.
I mean, there's not much strategy to offensive rebounding. It's want-to, it's physicality. And as I said, in their first matchup, VCU dominated the offensive glass. Off to a good start again today.
Ginyard over the top of Dixon and out of bounds. 7:45 left to go here in this first half. And Duquesne leading from the jump. After the win over Rhode Island yesterday, and looking to make it 2 victories in 24 hours and advance to the semifinals in their hometown tomorrow, where they would take on either Davidson or St. Joe's. That game will be coming up following this one here this evening. Now, Drew Joyce, the second-year head coach of Duquesne, now standing by with Marty Snyder.
Coach, what'd you like about that start? Seemed like a quick one for your guys.
I thought our ball movement was pretty good. We were able to drive, get the ball to the paint. We also got some stops that allowed us to play in transition and try to create those advantages and keep them. So offensively, we've done a pretty good job. We gotta do a better job playing through our plays and executing, and then we got to start stringing some more stops together defensively.
Seems like on the offensive boards, though, they're starting to get some momentum there.
Yeah, we got to do a good job of boxing out. Right, they're a good offensive rebounding team. We got to cut it off and don't allow them to get extra possessions.
Thanks, Drew. Steve?
Right now on USA, it's Duquesne leading VCU in the quarterfinal round of the Atlantic 10 Championship. And, Coach, what do you make of the season that these Dukes have put together?
Inconsistent. As we see here today, they are extremely talented. Now, to their credit, they seem to be playing their best at the right time right now. One of my theories, and I've seen it the last few years, they may have too many good players. For example, Maximus Edwards is in right now. He didn't play the whole month of February.
The basket and one for Michael Belle.
And so much of VCU's offense is based on dribble penetration. Blowing by Dixon, that's a straight line drive. That's the last thing you want defensively, because those straight line drives happen so quick. Blow-bys, your help can't get there.
And that's the second personal on David Dixon. So the senior from Memphis has to come out of the game as Bell is at the free throw line and unable to complete the three-point play.
Strange thing about Bell, he shoots better on threes than he does from the free throw line. Only 51% from the free throw line. 53 on threes. That's a head scratcher.
One possession game. Maximus Edwards, his first shot.
Yeah, I really think they have so many good players at Duquesne that, you know, settling on a lineup sometimes creates a lack of chemistry. It just takes longer.
Nick Lewis, the spinning move, draws the contact and the foul.
We said on the first possession, this is a no paint game for Duquesne. VCU's not tricky. They use great pace, they move quickly, they cut quick, they create pace and space to open up driving opportunities, and then they just attack you. If you can't keep VCU out of the paint, you don't have a chance.
Last foul on Jakob Netjes for the Dukes. Nick Lewis at the free throw line. 13 points in the first meeting. A well-regarded high school player out of the DC area. Was the DC Player of the Year just last season.
This is the best defensive guard, Jennings, against the best offensive guard in Ginyard. Love that.
VCU crowd has come to life in a one-point game. Five to shoot. Alex Williams taken away. Jennings with the steal, and the Rams running. Jennings driving. And the rebound by Jimmy Williams. Coming up on half a dozen minutes remaining here in this first half. Jimmy Williams underneath for Edwards, and he couldn't finish. There's Barry Evans, stripped by Williams. The Duke's in the open floor, but Ginyard lost it behind his back. And a foul is called. That's on Terrence Hill of Duquesne. How about this? Duquesne with just one turnover in their win over Rhode Island here yesterday, but now already 6 here in the first half today.
VCU obviously watched that game carefully, and again, their style of basketball is run and pressure defensively, and they immediately said, we're not buying it. We can pressure Duquesne. We can't let them be comfortable. We can't let them have another game where they have very few turnovers. We need to cause some turnovers. And I think as you see VCU settle in this game, you'll see them play better and better, shaking off the rust of that week off.
And VCU now in the bonus the rest of this first half. And it's Jennings who misses on the front end of the 1-and-1, but now Hill tracks it down. Jennings downhill, stripped and out of bounds. And it stays with the Rams here with 5.5 to go.
Love the offensive rebound by Barry Evans, as well as the drive and the kick out at 6'8". He's one of the most versatile players in the A10.
And we're going to get a challenge. A coach's challenge on that out-of-bounds call. So Duquesne and Drew Joyce challenging this call.
Previous players on the review.
So Drew Joyce and Duquesne with a coach's challenge on the out-of-bounds call that was ruled in favor of VCU. Now, if it's successful, the timeout he used to call this challenge will be kept. He will get another timeout
After further
and another
review,
challenge.
Successful challenge by Duquesne. Duquesne's ball baseline, 30 seconds on the shot clock. Their routine, their timeout.
So a successful challenge. That's 2 in 2 days for Drew Joyce. Yeah, that just went off Jennings.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? I like to talk with officials to learn from them because they have such a hard job and they're incredible experts at the rules of the game. But they often say the toughest calls that they have to deal with are those out-of-bounds calls. It's almost impossible to tell sometimes, even with replay assistance.
And, Coach, you have to believe you're only going to use your challenge in the first half. If you have a high degree of confidence, you're going to get it right.
You talked about all the assistants that are so important on your staff, but whoever has that tablet and is recommending whether to challenge or not, that's a lot of pressure on that job.
6 to shoot for the Dukes. Brandon Hall has to get it up, and it's a shot clock violation. Hall was not aware.
And the reason that was such a good defensive possession was Djokovic at 6'11" was able to switch. Look at Djokovic guarding Ginyard. Are you kidding me at 6'11"? And that just slows down the whole possession. But it all started with Djokovic guarding an incredibly fast Ginyard.
Terrence Hill pulls up. And the rebound ripped down by Alex Williams. Ginyard into Hughley, just in off the bench over Djokovic.
Hughley started this year averaging over 15 points a game, had a period where he was suspended for the team, but make no mistake, this guy's a monster. He can score, doesn't play a lot of minutes. So while he's in, they're absolutely going to get him the ball, take advantage of it.
Hill lays it up and in.
Number 6, Terrence Hill Jr.
And now Brandon Hall misses on the layup. VCU looking to take their first lead of the game. Underneath, Hill is fouled, and he'll try to do it at the free throw line. Foul on Hughley, his first. Well, Lisa, we have a third consecutive good game unfolding here in Pittsburgh right now. Just 1 point separating the Dukes and the Rams. And two teams that have been well represented in the championship game of this tournament the last 3 years.
And you see VCU, consistent #1 seed. They tied for first again this year. And I asked Coach Martelli about the chemistry of adding so many transfer portal guys. And he said the summer's key, because when they come in and see VCU's commitment, not only the staff, but the facilities, the administration, the way we have, you know, we run our everything like an NCAA tournament program. And he says right away, even the players from Oregon that they have and from these different schools, they say, okay, now we get it. This is a real place. Let's bond together and accomplish something.
VCU has their first lead of the day. Hughley for a three. Rebounded though, and a shot clock violation. They're going to say the ball never touched the rim. So the horn didn't sound, but the official made the call right away. Let's take a look here.
Boy, that's close. If it did touch it, it truly barely grazed it.
So they're calling it a shot clock violation. Now let's see, they're reviewing it over there. Let's take a look from this angle. Yeah, it did. It did hit it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great angle, great camera work.
I think everybody was just surprised that Hughley fired up the triple there.
They left him so open.
Now,
Yeah,
the officials will gather at the monitor, but I mean, it's pretty clear.
Right there, yes.
Jeff Clark, Greg Evans, Tim Kelly are three officials here for this first game of the
Duquesne's ball
evening session.
sideline, 19-second shot clock.
All right, so 19 seconds on the shot clock now. Duquesne basketball. Side out.
You know, like I said, while Hughley's in, I would get him the ball because he's not a terrific defender, not a terrific jump shooter, but he is a monster down low. So while he's in there, get that out of him.
This is Jimmy Williams over Djokovic. And a rebound to Brandon Jennings. Closing in on 3 minutes to go first half.
That's quickness on quickness. Hill against Ginier, they'll love it.
Terrence Hill for Djokovic.
Duquesne's given up a couple easy ones with Hughley in the game just because, you know, his ability to help and recover is not great.
Timeout here with VCU on a 12-2 run.
So you wonder how people get layups. Well, coaches manufacture space. Like, how are you going to open up this area right here for a layup? Well, the way you're going to do it is you're going to cut people through the lane and pick and roll to open up that area. Go ahead, there's the cut, and that cut opens up space. Now that box area, there's no one there. Djokovic can lay it up. So you have to manipulate the defense. Put the defense where you want them to open up the sweet spot.
Duquesne with only 2 points in just about the last 6 minutes. Now the shot clock at 6. Long three from Alex Williams. And there's a steal by Brandon Hall. And Williams, the rebound. Tries to get it up, blocked by Jennings. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Duquesne.
If you want to know why Jennings is first team all defense, he turns it over, gets down, blocks the shot, comes back into play, gets another block. This guy does. And earlier he guarded, you know, the 240, 50-pound Alex Williams and didn't let him back it down. This guy's just outstanding.
And here is Brandon Hall missing everything on the three. The drought continues for Duquesne. It has been a struggle from the field in the last half dozen minutes as Belle lays it up and in for VCU. And he is the first player into double figures with 10.
When a coach says we need to be the more physical team, they're talking about plays like what Belle made. Driving with force, winning collisions, moving people backwards, getting easy shots.
Six to shoot. Netjes for three. And Ginyard is going to be called for a push-off on Duquesne. That'll be his second. And Duquesne has only made one of their last 11 from the field. It was a good start, but they have struggled down the stretch here in this first half.
And they're not getting the ball to the rim. The time they did, Jennings made two spectacular defensive plays, but you know it's hard to be good enough offensively without getting shots at the rim or free throws. For example, now VCU at the free throw line. Belle had a layup a moment ago. Those are highly efficient shots. If you don't get efficient free throws and shots at the rim, it could be hard.
Brandon Jennings, the sophomore from Richmond, Virginia, staying home to play for VCU. And knocking down both free throws.
So Ginyard, the second leading scorer in the A10, has not taken a shot for over 15 minutes. So should Duquesne scheme some things for him, or is the defense of Jennings just that good?
Maximus Edwards is going to be fouled. Belle and Djokovic both collapsed. And it's going to be Belle who gets the foul for VCU.
Well, we just said getting the ball to the rim results either in a high percentage shot or a chance to draw a foul.
So Maximus Edwards, the Richard Sr. from Connecticut, connects on Edwards. Gets one of two. 6-point game. As we close in on the final minute of the opening half.
Here's the dribble drive action.
7 on the shot clock. Corner three from Evans. Timeout taken by VCU.
Evans, a veteran player from Bryant, came over with Coach Martelli, just takes that space and shoots without hesitation. Say, if you catch and shoot threes are the most efficient threes. On time, especially with your feet on the line. Evans knew that one felt good.
But it's Michael Belle who's the game-high scorer right now, the only player in double figures for VCU with 12.
Yeah, Michael Belle plays with force. We talked about shots at the rim. Well, Belle's getting the ball to the rim. 6'8", strong. That shot's a little bit tougher. The other thing I love about Belle is his ability to defend every position, and they bring him off the bench. VCU is 8th in the country in bench points. Interestingly, tied at 8th in the country with St. Louis. But they come at you with 9 guys. They're always fresh. They're always running. They're always pressuring.
In the first meeting between these teams in the regular season, VCU got 43 points from their bench.
Yeah, how about that? Well, when you bring the leading bench scorer in the country off the bench and Terrence Hill, and you got guys like Belle and Ward, that makes sense.
This is Alex Williams. Through Djokovic. He wanted the contact and the foul.
Shots at the rim. That's what will decide this game. And Duquesne has the bodies to accomplish that.
About 2-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. 20 seconds to go in the half.
No question it will be Terrence Hill making a decision.
Inside of 10. Hill, long three, and he got it.
In the fall, talking with the VCU coaches, I said, what about Terrence Hill? They said he's an offensive engine. He creates points, but he's also kind of an offensive magician. Well, here's the magic right here. That's not supposed to go in. A fadeaway from 35 feet. That's some offensive March magic right there.
Michael Belle, leading scorer for the Rams. He's now with Marty.
Boy, what a first half for Michael Belle with 12 points. What really kick-started that run for you guys?
I think it's our defense. Our defense really sets the tone for us. That really kicks off our offense. And, being able to, string stops in a row and helping us, leak out, get them in transition and, scramble, that definitely helps us as a team.
Was there some intentionality on your part to be more physical in the second part of that first half?
Yeah, for sure. I think, Duquesne set the tone pretty early. They were getting on the offensive glass. And, we were letting, the road get behind. We just weren't physical at all. So, that was what, Coach was telling me and Terrence Hill to, bring into the team, bring that physicality, that energy, those winning plays, those extra efforts. And, that's what I was able to do happily.
Steve, a tale of two different stories in that first half, no doubt about it.
Ginyard only had 1 point in the first half last night in Duquesne's win over Rhode Island. Really came alive in the second half, but a much taller task with the kind of defense he's facing here from VCU if he's going to try to replicate that.
Well, let's just talk about even shots attempted. Ginyard and Jimmy Williams, the highest scoring backcourt in the A10. They average almost 26 shots per game over the last 6 games. Tonight they only have 6 shots between them. They're not even getting shots against the perimeter defense of the Rams.
VCU trying to fortify their NCAA tournament resume and stay on pace for a second straight Atlantic 10 tournament title. It would also be their third in the last 4 years. The winner of this game meets the winner of our next game, Davidson and St. Joe's, in the semifinals tomorrow. And this is Lewis, and Dixon the rebound. David Dixon, the big man for Duquesne, went out early in that first half once he picked up 2 quick fouls. Back in to start the second half. Double team. Alex Williams fouled from behind by Jadrian Tracy.
So I love the strategy by Coach Martelli. Surprise, blitz, trap of the ball screen. They haven't showed that. Obviously, first play of the second half, they try the element of surprise, but Ginyard, the all-conference guard, is ready for it. Can't emphasize enough, Ginyard, second leading scorer in the league, 4th in assists, best at creating points, but really held down. Right here, look, Jennings won't let him get open on the out-of-bounds play designed for him.
Here's Dixon kicking it out for Alex Williams, and he buries the 3.
Alex Williams starting the second half, but showing, hey, Terrence Hill's not the only flat-out great player that comes off the bench in this league. Alex Williams has been amazing, coming off back-to-back 22-point games.
Lazar Djokovic answers with a 3 for VCU.
Player development, that's his 21st 3 of the year at 37%. Last year, Culture at Charleston only had 4 for the year. VCU not only getting good players, but making them better.
And Brandon Hall is going to be fouled by Tracy, who has 2 quick ones here with his second half. Marty Snyder, what do you got for us?
Talked to Drew Joyce, and he agrees with what they were saying in the studio. Great first 10 minutes, not so great second 10 minutes in the first half. He said they found another gear, and we allowed them to control the tempo, and it totally threw us out of rhythms on both ends of the court. He said we have to find our way offensively. We did it early. We can do it again. And I agree with you, Coach. I think Drew Joyce wants to get Ginyard way more involved here early in the second half.
Yeah, they can't win without doing that. Ginyard is the engine of their offense. And there's just a simple pick and roll. And here's the thing. If you try it once, try it 2 or 3 times. It's Ginyard's unselfish. He leads. He's terrific assist to turnover. There's nothing offensively that he has as a weakness. I'd put the ball in his hands and let him create points, which is what he does better than anyone in the A10 before this game here tonight.
first free throws of the day for Jr. He got them both. Now has 5 points on the afternoon. This is Nick Lewis working on Ginyard. Tracy for a three. And the rebound to Dixon.
Well defended, staying in front, not allowing penetration to the rim.
Here comes Dixon right down the lane, bumps into Djokovic, clears him out and slams it home, and Djokovic is a little hobbled.
Dixon's been playing like he's possessed over the last 6 games before this. And this was incredible force. We had VCU's physicality finishing up the first half, and that's extreme physicality by Dixon. Wow. Maybe that will get his teammates going. That's leadership by example there.
Foul was called on Alex Williams. But boy, he just sent Djokovic flying. And Djokovic has come out of the game. He's holding his side. Underneath Jennings, and Dixon the rebound. He is all over.
Dixon in that historic 30-point comeback not only had the spectacular last-second tip-in, but he had 17 points, 11 rebounds. The only player, or one of 2 players to have 100 blocks, 100 dunks in Duquesne history.
Jimmy Williams hoping that Duquesne can jumpstart a run here. 3 minutes going by second half, and they're within 4. Michael Belle, and Williams the rebound.
Aggressive drive, stood up, stopped by Dixon.
Jimmy Williams stumbling, and he traveled.
That was an example of Jennings refusing to get screened. Good screen against an all-conference player with Jennings getting downhill. I'm sorry, with Williams getting downhill, but Jennings cutting him off. Look at it, get over the screen, then get back into position. That's why a person like Jennings is all defensive team. So they do all kinds of NBA Combine type strength and conditioning tests. Jennings' speed and jumping would be among the best players at the NBA Combine. He's an elite athlete.
Terrence Hill, and he is fouled by Brandon Hall. That's just his first personal. Well, something to keep an eye on. Lazar Djokovic on the bench now after the heavy contact with David Dixon. He came out right after that play. And now here is Hill at the free throw line.
And Djokovic is the only true center post player in the regular rotation for VCU. So him not being out there, if I'm a Duquesne coach, tells me, all right, maybe we can go inside now to Alex Williams and Metchis.
Terrence Hill with his first free throw miss of the day. Jimmy Williams.
Look at Bell move his feet at 6'8".
Alex Williams around Jennings, blocked from behind by Tracy. And a timeout on the floor here, just shy of 16 minutes left to go, and the Rams by 5. Well, offsetting fouls going into that media timeout after the whistle had blown when the teams were walking back to their benches. Jimmy Williams for Duquesne and Terrence Hill of VCU were jawing at each other.
I like the officials nipping in the bud and making it a double technical so that there's no disadvantage to either team.
So it's 3 in blue, 6 in white, right near the free throw line. You see Hill turn around there, face Williams.
Terrence Hill, Jimmy Williams. Now where that could come into play is those do count as personal fouls. Neither of them in any foul trouble at the moment.
6, Terrence Hill Jr.
Comes into Jimmy Williams and he scores.
What a well-designed play. I love coaches who draw stuff up after timeouts.
Jimmy Williams.
One possession game. Duquesne ended that first half making only 2 of 12. They've started the second half 4 of 5.
They definitely came out with a renewed energy and focus.
6 to shoot for the Rams. Jennings in the paint, knocked away by Netches.
So even though VCU doesn't have a pure center, they're very switchable and quick right now.
Ginyard trying to find Netches, and he battles with Jennings. Jump ball and favors Duquesne.
Duke's ball.
So one of the nice things about out-of-bounds under is you can get the ball right next to the rim, and that's just misdirection. Watch, Jill Williams looks, he's going left, then cuts back right. But again, you have to remove people from that area so it's open to be cut to. Very simple play, but I like going for the layup on that play since the ball's already close to the rim.
And that is going to be a foul on Lazar Djokovic, who was just checked back into the game. Remember, he took that heavy hit from David Dixon a short time ago, immediately went out and stayed on the bench for a few minutes. He's back in, just committing the foul as he continues to guard Dixon.
And we talk about shots at the rim. You think of that strong drive by Dixon, the out-of-bounds play up there by Jimmy Williams.
And Belle read that one perfectly. They went for the alley-oop with Dixon. And Belle came over to deny.
Well, I'll tell you, this front line for VCU right now is freakishly athletic with Evans, Belle, and Djokovic. This is an elite defensive lineup.
Well, freaky makes sense on Friday the 13th, doesn't it? Just over 5 going by second half. And there's a steal by Ginyard. Transition 3 for Jimmy Williams. And the rebound to Djokovic. And a foul by Alex Williams. That's his third.
So there's gambles you take sometimes on defense, going for steals. That one did not look like a gamble that had a great chance of succeeding. Too far from the basket.
So Alex Williams is going to come out. Netches checks in for Duquesne. Again, Alex Williams led the team in scoring in the win over Rhode Island yesterday with 22. And in double figures again here this afternoon against the Rams. Evans throws it over Jennings and out of bounds.
As I said, I believe Netches, number 9 for Duquesne, is an elite defender. But defensive stats are hard to come by. But what he did there, stopping a one-on-one drive, he does that so routinely. He could do it against different positions. He's a great help defender. And Dixon, Netches, they played over 25 minutes in the NCAA tournament, winning against BYU. So you got experienced, talented NCAA tournament caliber guys with this dynamic. Jimmy Williams, Ginyard backcourt. This team is very talented.
Jimmy Williams has the 3 rattle out and steals the pass the other way, intended for Djokovic.
There's the matchup we love. First team all conference against first team all defense.
Ginyard. Dixon the rebound. And the foul on the floor by Brandon Jennings of VCU, and that is his 3rd personal.
That's significant because Jennings is the best matchup for Ginyard.
So you have Alex Williams with 3 for Duquesne, Brandon Jennings now with 3 for VCU, and Jennings is coming out.
But here's why VCU's depth can get them to the NCAA tournament. You bring in Nick Lewis for Jennings. You take out an all-conference, all-defensive player, and you bring in the Rookie of the Year who has just a pit bull mentality, wants to be aggressive and strong and tough.
Ginyard to the rack, blocked by Djokovic. Terrence Hill driving baseline, tried to flip it for Djokovic, comes to Belle instead. Michael Belle spinning. Netjes gets the rebound after affecting the shot.
Exactly. That's what Netjes does. He affects the game defensively. He and Dixon.
Pocket pass for Hall. And the rebound to Belle. Straightaway three, Hill. And the rebound to Ginyard. Both teams in somewhat of a scoring drought here with 12.5 left to go.
To me, it has more to do with the defense and athleticism on both teams. Nothing's easy.
Hard-fought game. Ginyard. Tipped by Belle into the arms of Hill. Belle wide open down the lane. Timeout taken by Duquesne.
And that's because both Hall and Netjes picked up Hill. When you have two players on one, someone's wide open. That's a miscommunication.
And Dixon is holding his left shoulder for Duquesne.
There's a lot of collisions with big, strong guys out there today.
David Dixon, who yesterday broke the program record for games played, today is his 129th for the Dukes.
Yeah, you really can't tell whether it was a contact. It might have been more of a hyperextension.
So he went into the tunnel here. He's now back out in the team huddle. A guy who is a team player through and through. Earlier this week, he stood on the street corner in downtown Pittsburgh in his full uniform and held up a sign to get people to come to this tournament. It wasn't a publicity stunt. He said, I just wanted people to show up to support our team. That's the kind of player he is. And with more on Dixon, let's send you over to Marty.
Steve, I don't think that left shoulder was going to hold Dave Dixon out for very long. And a couple weeks ago, Drew Joyce was very emotional talking about his senior. In a press conference, he was saying, listen, people don't know what Dave Dixon has been through. Both knees he had problems with. And in today's day and age, most kids would shut it down, opt for surgery. But Dixon decided to work through it. He showed up an hour and a half before practice just to get training sessions in to get back to where he could have this senior moment. And it's almost, Coach, like he is willing his team to win this game. The hometown team, Dave Dixon certainly trying to get his team to the next round.
Dixon's been a model of toughness and someone who wears that uniform with pride. One of only 3 players playing in this tournament that has stayed at their school as a fourth-year senior. He's played through injuries, and he's been playing phenomenal in this last month and a half, as you said.
Only the second player in program history with 100 blocks and 100 dunks. Really does everything for his team. Blocks shots and blocks traffic, if that's what it comes to get fans to come to the games. These teams have combined for only 5 points in the last 5 minutes. And it's a 5-point lead for the Rams.
I'll tell you, I was expecting a drop-off with Jennings not in the game, but Nick Lewis is doing a phenomenal job now on Ginyard.
Here's Alex Williams. And the rebound to Netjes.
Look at Djokovic at 6'11", guarding Ginyard. Wow.
Ginyard into Alex Williams. And out of bounds, it stays with Duquesne. That ball was probably going out off Williams. Hill tried to save it into a teammate, but when he played it, he knocked it out.
Loved the duck in and the shot, just in and out for Alex Williams. But in a game as physical as this, anytime you can get the ball in at the rim, that's a good thing for your team.
Alex Williams out for Brandon Hall. He strokes the 3 and is way off target.
So I've had some VCU games this year where their switching was exploited. In this game, it's the exact opposite. Their switching is so effective. Even Ginyard, who is as fast as any guard I've seen this year, is not getting around Djokovic and Belle. That's why you could look at VCU as not only an NCAA tournament team, but a team that can get in the NCAA tournament and win games.
11 minutes left to play. Five on the shot clock. Nick Lewis able to score, falling away on the baseline.
So well defended by Duquesne. VCU is attacking the paint off the dribble. They couldn't get there. Lewis somehow makes a shot falling out of bounds.
And a timeout taken by the looking to fill out the semifinal portion of the A10 tournament bracket. St. Louis and Dayton will play tomorrow. And the winner of these last two games in the quarterfinals, Duquesne and VCU, and then Davidson against St. Joe's. But VCU has bigger ambitions, looking to put together a solid resume for the NCAA tournament.
Well, here's the really good things. They've won 13 out of 14. They have no bad losses. Quad 1 record could be a little bit better, but their road record is outstanding. And remember, compared to the other teams on this bubble, they all have some kind of anomaly with their resume. VCU's looking good, especially if they advance in this tournament to get into the big dance.
Ginyard, the offensive foul. And that's his third.
Terrence Hill is third, team fifth.
So both Alex Williams and Terrence Ginyard have 3 personal fouls for Duquesne. Coming up on the midpoint of this second half. 7-point VCU lead, and Djokovic lost it.
What a stop by Dixon. I mean, Djokovic is a first-team all-conference 6'11" force, and Dixon just stood him up.
Jimmy Williams draws the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Well, Phil Martelli, of course, the coach of VCU in his first year, but the Martelli family well known in coaching circles. And with more, let's send it over to Mark.
Yeah, Steve, you guys were talking about this bubble situation for VCU. So Phil Martelli Jr. was asked this week, hey, what advice did your dad have for you? He said, well, it was pretty simple. He said, son, you can't win the second one if you don't win the first one. But coach, that quote of keep it to the 94 by 50, that did come from his dad. And I think that's a very simple but outstanding point by his father to say, hey, just worry about the basketball. These young kids can get so caught up in the bubble talk and all that's going on with Selection Sunday. Worry about the basketball. The rest of it takes care of itself.
Coaching is psychology. You just perfectly described it. And Phil Martelli Jr. keeping his team comfortable, confident, focused on all the right things.
Djokovic, and fouled by Dixon. That's his third personal.
I mean, this is a battle. Djokovic knows he got stood up that last time, so he attacked this time, drew the foul, although that looks awfully close to being a good block.
Djokovic, of course, a terrific free throw shooter, leading the A10 in made free throws this season.
Yeah, stunning. That's his first free throw, because that's what he does. He attempts more free throws than anyone else in this league and makes more. Just because when you're 6'11" and that explosive, it's hard to stop that guy without fouling sometimes.
Duquesne now with 3 key players, each with 3 fouls. Ginyard, Alex Williams, and also Dixon. Dixon has it here, but scores over Djokovic and comes up holding that left shoulder. He is in some pain.
I mean, the will of Dixon this last couple months and here today is exemplary. I'm inspired just watching it.
Tyrell Ward. And he took steps.
And Jake DeMichael, you talk about the depth of this Duquesne team. Jake DeMichael started 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament, now coming off the bench, super deep team. Dixon coming off the court in that discomfort you mentioned, Steve.
We now welcome viewers on CNBC to the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Championship from Pittsburgh. It's Game 3 of the quarterfinals. Duquesne taking on VCU. Following this game, our coverage will continue tonight on CNBC with the College Basketball Scoreboard Show, followed by our quarterfinal of the evening. Davidson against St. Joe's. And Alex Williams has been the star of the show today for the Dukes, bringing them back to within 2.
And Belle gave the palms up like, what more could I do?
Djokovic scores on the other end for the Rams.
Two really good teams. VCU proven good. Duquesne more inconsistent this year, but peaking at the right time and super talented.
Williams stumble. Here's Belle.
So I know Belle is fast and quick, but what impressed me on that play was his body control at the end.
Full court pressure here from VCU.
And Nick Lewis wouldn't let Ginyard get the ball. Been a terrific player off the bench defensively.
Well, Belle was tremendous in the first half, somewhat quiet offensively in the second half, but comes up with the steal here.
Great foot speed and body control. And coming back from 21, if any team could do it at St. Louis, because they have more 10-0 minimum runs than anyone in the country except for Iowa State.
David Dixon, despite the left shoulder injury, is now back in the lineup for Duquesne. Into the corner it goes, and DeMichael off the bench in the second half. It's his first shot of the game. Jake DeMichael from right here in Pittsburgh.
And one of the reasons he came back, he told Coach Joyce, is to play in this tournament. And he's another guy that's been a loyal Duke and was a huge part of their NCAA tournament run 2 years ago, trying to replicate that.
Terrence Hill, the scoop and score. And he's got a dozen.
That's called a hostage dribble, where you get past your man and actually stop and box him out while you have the ball so the defender cannot get back into play.
5-point game, 7 minutes left. Jimmy Williams lines up a three, and he jars it.
Duquesne has players, man. They got scores, they got depth, they got defenders. We got a game.
Terrence Hill answers for the Rams. He looks at the Duquesne bench and puts up the finger to his lips, saying, quiet down now.
Momentum point, and Coach Martelli calls a set play for Hill.
Terrence Ginyard between defenders, and a foul is whistled on the Rams. And that's Brandon Jennings with his 4th personal.
Alex Williams, see, there's a bigger guy on him. He knows he has space to knock it down. On the other end, that was a set play with a couple tricky screens, a back screen and a rescreen that got Hill open. Excellent play call by Coach Martelli.
So Ginyard gets to the free throw line, but the bigger news is that the guy who's been guarding him, Brandon Jennings, has to go to the bench with 4 fouls. Jennings on the A10 all-defensive team this season, but now taking a seat.
But that's where Nick Lewis has admirably filled in when Jennings went to the bench. You expect there to be a drop-off because Jennings that good, but Nick Lewis from the all-rookie team has answered that bell.
6 minutes left to go, 1-possession game. Winner plays either Davidson or St. Joe's in the semis tomorrow. Nick Lewis for Djokovic, and a foul on the Dukes.
excellent pass. Djokovic has an unusually great vertical jump for his size, and that ball was way up there. The only reason he didn't get it is he got pushed in the back. The officials caught him.
Jake DeMichael, his first personal. Djokovic a little slow trying to recover from that awkward landing.
Michael put his hands up saying, hey, look, I didn't push him, but he was going into him with his body, because where Djokovic landed is not where he took off.
Lazar Djokovic had a double-double in the only meeting in the regular season with Duquesne. He's into double figures here today and perfect from the free throw line. Alex Williams, quick trigger on the three. Grabbed by Belle. Djokovic lines up the three. Five-point lead with 5.5 left to go. DeMichael. Too strong. And the rebound to Lewis. Nick Lewis blocked by Dixon, but he's going to be called for his 4th personal foul. Had 4 fouls yesterday as well, and now he's got 4 against the Rams.
I'm not sure about that. He gets the ball, and there's a little contact after, but what I'm told often is if it's a block and the contact comes afterwards, the block precedes it, and you usually get a no call on that.
Now there's a timeout here with 5:11 left to go. Timeout taken by the Dukes. So Duquesne trying to keep this wonderful story going. The 50th anniversary season of the Atlantic 10 Conference. Duquesne, a charter member. They won the first ever conference tournament half a century ago. They got the win over Rhode Island yesterday. They are playing across the street from their campus here in downtown Pittsburgh and trying to take out the second-seeded VCU Rams to book a spot in the semifinal round. But the Rams are a tough out. They are the defending tournament champions, and they are the co-champions of the regular season this year in the league. So both teams in the bonus here. VCU still has 3 timeouts, Duquesne with 1. And Nick Lewis at the free throw line for the Rams. Missed them both.
Might need a double here.
Alex Williams backing in. Knocked out of bounds by Lewis. We are now in what is known as clutch time. A 6-point spread or less, and under 5 minutes left to go. Ginyard fires the three. Belle comes swooping in for the rebound. VCU has hit 6 of their last 7 from the field. Hill pulls up from the mid-range.
Had a fascinating discussion with Hill a while ago because he never is rushed. He's never off balance. I said, how do you do it? And he says, Coach, I've always been kind of slow. So, of course, I'm under control because I'm not going that fast. Fascinating.
Brandon Hall gets all the way to the cup. Duquesne staying within arm's length. Under 4 to play. Hill again. Back-to-back baskets for Terrence Hill, who leads all scorers now with 19 points.
By his own admission, he's not that fast. So what he does is he changes speeds. He slows down. You don't know when he's going to step on the gas, and he gets separation.
Jr gets Djokovic off his feet and draws the foul. 3:19 left to play. Ginyard headed to the free throw line. Terrence Hill had 21 against Duquesne in their meeting during the course of the regular season. He's 2 away from that right now. Leading all scores with 19 points. And the Rams, the second-seeded team in this tournament, leading number 7 Duquesne by 7 points.
So here's my thing about Hill. Production, most points per minute. Efficient, great shooting percentages. Unselfish, comes off the bench, leads VCU in assists. Smart, number 1 in the A10 in conference play and assist to turnover. Wow. I mean, that's a mouthful right there.
Now Terrence Ginyard will be at the free throw line where he's a perfect 4 of 4 on the day. My fault. I should have waited. His first miss.
He didn't hear you. Don't be tough on yourself.
It's just karma, right? Yeah, just put it out in the universe. Gets 1 of 2. Neither team has really shot free throws all that well down the stretch in close games this season. Coming up on the final 3.
Another set for Hill, well defended by Hall.
Terrence Hill by Hall, and the rebound to Dixon. Playing with 4 fouls.
And a sore shoulder, painful shoulder.
Gritty performance here today. Alex Williams splits defenders and gets the foul on Djokovic and the basket as well.
This is pure force, stopping, body control, strength. I like the pump fake. Whenever you're not sure what the defense is going to do, give a pump fake, get them off their feet. How about the 2 leading scorers in this game are both non-starters? You don't have to start to be a big-time player.
Lane violation. Alex Williams essentially saw that he was going to miss the shot, and he went to get the rebound a little too soon. It was the 3rd personal on Djokovic. Williams does lead Duquesne, though, in scoring with 18 on the day.
Ball will be in Hill's hands, not to score, to make decisions.
Jennings into Djokovic. On the spin, and the foul called against the Dukes. And that's on David Dixon. It's his 5th, and he is fouled out. He was able to play with 4 yesterday in the win over Rhode Island, but today he gets his 5th here with 2:13 left to go, and he'll exit.
He's getting a standing ovation right now in appreciation for his 4 years of hard work, toughness, perseverance through injuries. Number 1 player in Duquesne history for a number of times has put that uniform on game day.
And Djokovic now 5 for 5 from the free throw line. One of 3 players in double figures for the Rams. Time working against the Dukes now. Trailing by half a dozen.
Jennings on Ginyard.
Jennings has 4 fouls. Williams into Jennings, who took it away. But then Jimmy Williams steals it right back, and it belongs to the Rams. Last touch by Williams.
Look at that. He's outweighed by 50, 60 pounds and holds his ground against Alex Williams. That's why Jennings is special defensively. You know, we talk about you don't have to start to be a big-time player. Guess what? You don't have to be a big-time scorer either. You look at Jennings' defense, anyone would want a player like that.
Terrence Hill with 5 on the shot clock. Belle falls down. Scooped up by Ginyard and ahead to Netjes.
Still a 2-possession game, which predicts patience on this VCU possession.
A minute to play. 5 to shoot. Hill for 3. Jimmy Williams has it. Williams driving and lays it in. Duquesne with 1 timeout left, half a minute to go, 2-point Ram lead. Foul by Hall.
Love being unselfish over here by Ginyard. Sees that just open up there, delivers the ball, doesn't hesitate. Again, Ginyard leading his team in assists, 4th in the conference in assists, 2nd in scoring. Wow. And Hill is 87% from the line this year.
So it'll stay a 1-possession game regardless. Hill is going to come out, and Nick Lewis will come on for VCU. Again, Duquesne with 1 timeout. Half a minute to go. Down by 3. And Ginyard lost it. Lewis has it, and the foul by Jimmy Williams.
Coach Valentine or myself will take Ginyard with the ball going full speed every time. Surprised he lost it, but you just got to respect that he's been electric all year, and that's the guy you want to have the ball.
So Nick Lewis at the free throw line. Both teams in the double bonus the rest of the way. Lewis 2 of 4 from the stripe tonight.
Has never taken a clutch time free throw this year. The freshman 1 for 1 in his first super clutch free throw.
And again, neither team collectively during clutch time in the regular season has shot free throws all that proficiently. 2 big ones there. 5-point lead. Final 20 seconds. And Duquesne will call their final timeout.
Timeout, Dukes. 60 seconds.
So now you're out of timeouts, and it's a 2-possession game with just inside of 20 seconds left.
So you don't need a 2 or 3, you just need to score. Duquesne has plenty in their package over here in terms of driving through double gaps where you could either lay it up or if help comes, kick it out for a 3.
Well, the VCU fans have certainly come to their feet because they're a step closer now to the semifinal round and on a path to defend their A10 tournament title from last year. It was a slow start in the first half, but the Rams eventually went through the gears, overtook Duquesne before the end of that first half, and now here in the second, boy, it's been a dogfight, but the Rams at this point still hanging on and hoping to face either Davidson or St. Joe's in the semifinals tomorrow. That final game of the quarters is coming up once this game is over.
I mean, a lot can still happen in this game right here, especially if Duquesne can get a quick score.
The Rams looking to win their 4th in a row and their 14th in their last 15 games. They have been one of the hottest teams in the country. Co-regular season champions in the A10 with St. Louis. But Duquesne hoping for something special in their hometown as the 7th seed. They got to be quick. Ginyard for Alex Williams. Around Jennings, and he dunks it.
What a terrific set play.
And then the foul by Ginyard. Now Jennings let Williams go. He didn't want to pick up his 5th foul, so Alex Williams got around him and got the dunk.
Alex Williams sets a ball screen and then into a fade screen. Watch, Williams sets the screen. Now he's going to get a fade screen by Netches. Really well designed. Terrific job by Coach Joyce out of the timeout. Got his team the quick bucket they needed.
Jennings at the free throw line. Each team in the double bonus. This is a Ram team that set a program record for made free throws this season. And now it's Alex Williams coming in to take his spot in the lane, as well as Jimmy Williams.
That one was huge. Now we're back to 2 possessions. This is going to be tough for the Dukes.
So he gets them both. Only 11.6 to go. Ginyard ahead to Jimmy Williams. And blocked by Jennings. Ahead to Evans. And now Jennings is just going to run out the clock here. And VCU is moving on to the semifinal round of the Atlantic 10 Championship. Fourth straight appearance in the tournament's Final Four as they win by 5. And VCU will face either Davidson or St. Joe's tomorrow here in Pittsburgh.
Love Jennings' defense throughout the game, and I love the classy move at the end, dribbling it out, not taking the layup or dunk. There's David Dixon. An inspiration to watch him in his final college game.
VCU now with 10 wins in their last 11 A10 tournament games. And the number 2 seed will await the winner of the 6-3 game. The Wildcats against the Hawks, which is coming up next. And Marty Snyder now standing by with the victorious head coach, Phil Martelli Jr.
Well, Coach, you said all year long we can win so many different ways. This was not an easy one. What'd you learn about your kids in this one tonight?
Well, first and foremost, everybody told me we were playing a road game today. It sounded an awful lot like the Siegel Center. They don't know about our fans. Our people, no, we've been resilient all year. That's who we've been from the first day, and that's who we'll continue to be.
Well, when you needed some big buckets in the second half, how about your sophomore coming through for you?
Again, it's what he's done all year. He's built for this. You know, he's built for times like this. When we need a bucket, he goes and gets one. You know, you need that. You need guys like that in March.
All right, let's talk to Terrence Hill. Come on in here. How about
No.
How about that 20 from you? Did you get the sense that, hey, I have the hot hand, I want to run with it?
Yeah, my teammates always trust me with the ball at the end of the game. I feel like it was just my time to take over for us to pull through for this first win, but I just want to keep staying focused. We got the first one down, long way to go.
This was a physical game. Was it as chippy as it looked to us?
I mean, yeah, they got some big guys down there. Dixon does a good job down there being physical. They got another big man that's doing a very good job, but it was pretty chippy on the court for sure.
What a win for VCU. They move on in the tournament.